Today on Fundamentals, we cover if Loki be facing Doctor Doom in Avengers Doomsday, what if Season 3, Beast Games, Nosferatu, the Superman trailer, and so much more. And we are back. Whew, much needed holiday break.
Yeah.
She's like, actually, I still need one.
Well, if you guys don't hear it in my voice, I am kind of dying. It's cool though. I'm here. We're
Everything's
here.
fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah, I got some of those nice like soothing halls to soothe this throat from not trying to cough.
That aren't working
And
too well.
I mean, it's working enough. If you see me mute or like put my head down, it's not because I'm throwing up or anything. It's probably because I have phlegm coming up. I know that's gross, but I gotta throw it up somewhere. So there's a trash can right here.
Oh man. So yeah, holidays. You were out of the country most of the time.
Yeah, only for like 5 days, but yeah,
Oh, 5
yeah.
days? I feel like longer than that. I don't know why.
It was because I was gone for a long time. So I had like a very big holiday trip type thing happen. So for the course of 2 weeks, I spent my time in 5 different time zones.
Whew.
So it wasn't just overseas, but I did have lots of different things that I was doing. So yeah, I'm back. I'm here. I'm alive-ish. But yeah, I'm here. How was your
Well,
holidays?
it was good. It's good. It's way more chiller than yours. It was very relaxing. Wasn't too crazy and hectic like a lot of times it is, and had a lot of good stuff to watch while I was over holiday break. So,
Mm,
uh, yeah. Without further ado, you want to jump into some Marvel media?
let's go.
So that's our new iconic intro for Marvel media. If that music doesn't get you hype, I don't know what will. But
If the visuals don't get you hyped, I mean,
right, yeah.
goddamn.
Man, Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man trailer. God,
Yeah.
yes. I'm actually excited for this. I'm actually kind of glad that this is going to be taking place, like in a different universe. Uh,
Mm,
I kind of like this because we get to explore more characters. And obviously, which we'll talk about a little bit later. What if? I think we're done with what if. So this is almost like a what if Spider-Man season.
yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Yeah.
I'm loving it. X-Men 97 people, have their hand in this. The animation,
Mhm.
I like the style of
Yeah.
the animation. Right off the get go, there's so many homages to different Spider-Man in the comics, the movies, such
Yeah.
as like right at the beginning of the trailer, we get this right here, which is like a new art design, but it pays an homage to the very first Spider-Man comic in Amazing Fantasy number 16, which is the first appearance of Spider-Man at all in Marvel. So
Mm,
like that's pretty cool.
yeah.
Um, but man, like also another visual right here is we all know Tobey Maguire. Um, he with his
Bruh.
black suit from Spider-Man 3 kind of
Yeah.
does the same thing, but this is with
Mhm.
Peter Parker
The
get his
Oscorp suit.
Oscorp suit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many great things. What's your take on the visuals and kind of like the play out of this?
So I've been excited for this ever since it got announced. Even when it was Spider-Man freshman year or whatever,
Yeah.
when they first announced it, I was always excited for it. So now to actually see this trailer and to hear like the homages to the Spider-Man theme song where they kind of like put like a hip hop version on it,
Yes,
I
yes.
was like, yo, this is about to be hype as fuck. Um, I was really excited for it. And I really love the visuals. I love that they
Mm.
have it from the creators of the X-Men 97, so you know it's going to be animatedly, I don't know. Making up words again. Here we go. 2025, nothing has changed for Taylor. Oh god. Anyway, we're like everything looks great, I think. Anyway.
It does, and I like how they're bringing in characters from the comics that we're not super familiar with seeing on screen before,
Yeah.
and like they're given their own take on a completely different universe,
Right.
such as like right here we get Nico Minoru from she's also been on the Runaways in live action. She's got blood magic powers. She's voiced by Grace Song. Then also right here we get Pearl Pangan, which is voiced by Kathy Ong. She has water power. She's almost like a female Aquaman, I think, type thing.
Mm.
Then we get Lonnie Lincoln right here, which I think is like kind of taking the place of Flash in this universe. It's voiced by Eugene Bird, and actually from the comics, he's actually our Tombstone.
Mm.
And then we get a completely different take on Harry Osborn, voiced by Zeno Robinson, which I mean, I'm okay with it. Like the internet is so split on so many of these people and these new characters, but I'm like,
Of course.
it's a new universe.
Yeah.
Like let's embody this. Let's embrace it. I think it's gonna be fun. Because
Yeah.
like who wants to sing same old song and dance? We love Spider-Man. We love the Spider-Verse movies and all the variants we get. I don't want to see the same old story, the same old characters, the same old thing play out that we've seen. Like, well, obviously, like I've seen since the '90s. That some people have seen since before that. If you're older than '89, but I don't know. I like it. I think it's a fresh new take. Also, here's another scene, which is a homage to Tom Holland's scene,
Yeah.
and where Tony Stark like pulls up the phone. He's like, "I've seen you on YouTube or whatever,"
Yeah.
and so like, God, there's just so many collaborations of different Spider-Man things
Mhm.
that is in this, and I'm here for it. I'm
Yeah.
pumped.
Well, I mean, we also know that Vincent D'Onofrio and Charlie Cox are coming back
Yes,
as Kingpin and Daredevil in this.
yes.
And then we did get like that first visual back from like San Diego Comic Con, I believe,
Mhm.
with all of those different like you had like Doctor Strange and like
Yes.
there was just like a poster with all of the
Doc
different like
Ock.
people.
I mean, there's so
Exactly.
many, so many.
So the fact that we already now know that we're getting Kingpin and Daredevil in this, like, who else is going to show up?
Right. And you can
It's awesome, I think, and especially as someone who's now like having fun dyeing their hair and like now seeing people with like blue hair, I'm like, yes, let's go.
Yes.
It's exciting.
And I we've talked about it before, so I didn't bring up visual because we showed it, I think, a couple of times, but also we getting Coleman Domingo as, Norman Osborn, which,
Hmm.
in this universe, it ends up being Peter's mentor instead of Tony Stark, which is cool too because we all know what
Yeah.
Norman's capable of. So it makes you wonder, is this variant going to stay good or is this variant, going to fall off the edge and, and take his dark turn that he typically takes? Uh
Only time will tell, but we do now know that it's going to be 10 episodes, right? It's been confirmed that it's
I think
10.
so. I think so. And then also, have you ever watched this series, Hannibal, with
Yes.
Michelson? Yeah. So
Yes.
Hugh Dancy, who plays, oh my god, I'm drawing a blank right now. Hannibal
Will?
mentors him. Will. Hugh Dancy plays Will. Hugh Dancy is playing Doc Ock in this.
What?
Yes,
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 let's
yes.
go.
And there's
He's a
so many.
he's a brilliant actor. I
Oh my
love
gosh.
him.
I loved him as Will in Hannibal. Like
Mhm.
Hannibal, I love Anthony Hopkins, but man, that series to me outperformed
Oh
any
yeah, no,
Hannibal movie or series ever done.
I love Silence of the Lambs and everything that Anthony Hopkins did with
Mhm.
that. But that Hannibal TV series was
Oof.
just beautifully done. Um, like I wanted more of it. Like
Yes.
oddly enough.
I did want more. Like, not even
Yeah.
oddly, I just wanted more. No shame.
Yeah.
Don't question my like, my character, but I just wanted more. Because literally, I mean, the whole entire cast was phenomenal on that, but
Mhm. Yeah. Very
ah, man.
well played.
Yes. Captain America: Brave New World. I think I'm probably the one that's most excited about this. Tay's got her
You could say that
doubts.
again.
A lot of people's got their doubts. But you know what? Uh, I'm staying hopeful for it. But one thing that we've not gotten a visual of, and everybody's question was the leader. We get to see the back of him. We get to hear his voice in the trailer, but we don't get to see a good visual of him. And a lot of people are like, you know what? It don't look like he's getting, the comic size accurate, head that he gets, the looks of it. And we finally get some artwork leak. And here it is. Like it's actually, I mean, I feel like for being live action, I feel like that I'm happy with that. I think it's
He reminds me of like Frankenstein's monster.
I think it's big enough to give him the leader where he's got the big brain, and he's very
Mm.
intelligent and everything, but where it's not kooky looking, if as kooky, I guess, as that can be. But it's his comics. But
Why do they have to make it green though?
because he
Like,
is
is he
green.
actually green? Oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
oh,
so
I
like
don't know.
yeah, yeah. So he's exposed to gamma and stuff as well. And like
Mm.
as we see in the Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton, the Hulk's blood drips into him. You start seeing his head start to form, and then
Oh,
the
dude, I
camera goes
literally
off.
just watched that like 2 days ago
Yeah,
while
so
I
when
was,
when his head starts
yeah.
doing that's who that
Mhm.
is playing him, and that's because his
Uh,
head's getting ready to transform, and he's going to turn green, and he becomes like super super intelligent, and he's like
uh,
one of the main
uh,
villains in the Hulk's storytelling in the comics.
well, well,
Yeah.
you learn something new every day, kids.
Yeah. So does this mean now you're excited about it?
No.
Okay.
No, but I was okay, so to like sidetrack a little bit, when I was
Yeah.
watching The Incredible Hulk or whatever with Edward
Huh?
Norton, um, I actually was like, so on Disney, we talked about this before, but they have the
Uh,
playlist, the hits and heroes, and this is the favorite thing that I have now. Is that like right as I'm going to bed or as I'm dying, trying to get better. I'm just playing that, and I curl up into a ball and I'm like trying to go to sleep, but then I'll look up and I'll be like, oh, this is what I'm watching. And I'll like go back to sleep and I'll wake up and I'm like, oh, this is what I'm watching, because it's a
yeah.
playlist of whatever. You have no idea what's coming on next.
Uh-huh.
So the Hulk came on, and I actually pretty much watched the entire thing, and I haven't watched it since I was like a kid.
Yeah.
I never actually like fully put together that they had an end credit scene in
Yes.
that.
And is it Captain
And
America and Tony Stark like
it's just Tony Stark. He walks up to him in a bar.
go ahead.
What? Oh,
I got a second one to tell you. There's actually two.
okay. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I might have fallen asleep for the second part. But like I saw that and I was like,
Yeah.
he says he wants to make a team and he's looking for Edward Norton. This is
Yes.
amazing.
Uh,
Um, the
I
things that they could
end
have
credit
done with
scene.
this, and then they just
Yeah.
didn't.
Well, no, actually, they did. So, like, that Incredible Hulk is canon. So that is Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, but we're supposed to pretend that Mark Ruffalo was Edward Norton.
Okay.
Because Edward Norton was actually supposed to be our Bruce Banner that goes into, because that is the MCU, that's canon. It was a actor swap.
Mm,
Reason why Edward Norton is a phenomenal actor. I love Edward Norton, but as they
but wasn't
film,
he like done with it? Like he was like
no,
after.
no.
Oh,
Oh, no. So there's a little bad blood there. So
oh,
during the filming of this movie, as they had it written and they were directing it, Edward Norton, when it came to every scene they filmed, he tried changing the script and changing the scenes almost every single shot. And he kind of tried like overruling the director in the movie. And he was so difficult to work with. And he had changed so much. They just did not want to take a chance of putting up to that into future MCU projects. So they dropped him and replaced
oh
him with
God,
Mark Ruffalo.
oh
Yeah.
God,
Yeah. Yeah.
oh that's rough.
Yeah. So that Hulk is Mark Ruffalo's Hulk. That storyline is Mark Ruffalo's storyline. It's just an actor swap like they did with Terrence Howard and Don Cheadle.
But they didn't even. That's also another funny one. But they didn't actually get to like use like Liv Tyler again,
No.
or
Well, Liv
or
Tyler,
General Ross.
yeah, they did. That's the same General Ross all through the MCU.
Oh,
Yeah.
except for like Brave New World.
Right. Brave New World, because he just passed away.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah,
oh, oops.
William Hurt has played General Ross through the whole MCU, including the Incredible Hulk movie, and he passed
Hmm.
away last year, which is why Harrison Ford's replacing him. And yeah,
Uh,
because they have to continue that character, and they had no choice but to recast him because he
yeah,
unfortunately
I
passed away.
mean that's gonna be the
But
same
yeah,
thing
but
with
no,
like
that's
Black
been the same
Panther.
actor through
But
the
yeah.
MCU that was in the Incredible Hulk, and
Okay.
we've not had Betty Ross in any other MCU projects, but
Mm,
so yeah, so Liv Tyler, I think I could be wrong, so don't hold me to this.
mm.
I think Liv Tyler actually is coming back as Betty Ross in Captain America: Brave New World.
What? Okay.
For real. So yeah, so
Interested.
they've not
Okay.
recast. The only person that's ever been recast has been well now Ross, obviously, but
Mm,
is was Mark Ruffalo and Ed Norton swapping, and it was just because of
okay.
how difficult Ed Norton was on trying to change everything.
Yeah, but in Captain America: Brave New World, do we have the Green Hulk coming in there?
So it's not been confirmed, and
Okay.
there's talks that he's going to like Bruce Banner's going to be in there.
Okay.
Maybe the Green Hulk. I don't know. We'll see. Obviously, there's so many
Yeah.
freaking rumors out there, and it's close. We're getting closer to time. I mean, we're literally a little over a month away from this movie dropping.
Mhm. Yeah.
Whew. Um, I'm so nervous, but I want this movie to be so good.
I don't know. I'm
I
sorry. Like I've totally like redirected,
Oh no
detoured
no
your like whole like
no
thought
redirect.
of like this is
If it's
happening.
Marvel, you know me. We can redirect and stay here for 5 hours and talk about it. I am not upset. Uh, yeah. But yeah. Also, Lego has dropped its actually very first Spider Verse set. So this is when they're in that convenience store fighting Spot.
Mhm.
Yeah, first time, believe it or not, which is kind of odd and surprising when I ran across this, that Lego actually hasn't done a Spider Verse set or multiple Spider Verse sets as popular and successful as the two movies have been. But yeah,
Yeah.
first one. So if you're a
Do
big
you think
Lego
it's because
collector,
they didn't have like the rights for it yet because it was like a Sony thing
I don't know
or
because they've done Spider-Man Avenger sets. I mean, and Spider-Man's part of Sony, you know. And well,
mm,
actually, there's a Spider-Man giant Daily Bugle, I believe, Lego set that's out there.
oh,
So
okay.
I don't know. Maybe they just kind of dropped the ball and was like, "Oh crap, this is successful. We should do this."
Or maybe they're like trying to hype it up again because we still don't have like a release
Right.
date and we had like the
Slight
Chelsea, New
delay, I
York.
think, too, on it.
Yeah.
So maybe this is them like, let's give the fans a little something with Spider-Verse since the movie's
Mhm.
gonna come out a little longer.
Yeah, and since we don't really have anything else that we've talked about yet, like let's like team up with Lego.
Right.
Let's go.
It's true.
um,
It's very true. I mean, marketing, I mean, and PR, like that's you're probably right. You're probably 100% right.
I don't know, that's
Uh,
immediately where my brain went, but I love Spider-Gwen. So getting to actually like see like a Lego set for Spider-Verse makes me happy.
Heck yeah.
'Cause
Anything
you know me and
Spider-Verse
my
makes me
Legos.
happy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I've loved Legos since like man, since I could be able to put them together. I just
Mhm.
like never. I would love to buy them, but my God, I swear to God, the price just keeps getting higher and higher every year on these sets.
Yeah, yeah. It's like,
Yeah,
do I want to buy a video game or do I want
yeah,
to play with Legos?
yeah. I'm
So
more
I
like yeah, yeah.
so I'm literally right now I'm playing Lego Hobbit. Like
Okay,
yesterday
okay.
I put like 9 hours into that because it was like the first day that I was actually like well enough to
Uh,
do anything. And I just sat on my couch and I just played Lego Hobbit on my games. Because like that's all I wanted to do. Yeah, I'm a child. It's fine. Yeah.
nothing wrong with that. I think I'm about to break down and download Marvel Rivals. I have been
I
hearing
actually
nothing but
I
good
have it
things.
downloaded. If you download it, we might play together.
Yes,
Like,
let's do it. Like
okay.
I've been seeing nothing but so I've seen like things on the internet like people's like
Mhm.
it's just an right before it came out people's like it's just
Yeah.
gonna be just a barely an update of
Overwatch 2.0. Yeah.
yeah and then like once it came out and dropped like even up to today like I've seen this
Mhm.
people like this is actually freaking good this is like
Mhm.
surprisingly good. I'm like
It's free and I downloaded it while I was in Belgium.
okay
Like on my PlayStation, because with the app
yeah
you can like download it onto your PlayStation even though you're like miles away from your
yeah
things. So I have it downloaded,
I'll
and
put it
so
on my
does
PlayStation too.
AD. Okay,
Let's do
so
this then.
all right, we're doing
Yeah,
it.
all
We're
right.
gonna start gaming together.
But yeah, back to Lego pricing or whatever, like, yeah, I'm like, do I wanna spend this much on Legos or I wanted to buy it on, like, props and helmets? And I'm like, props and helmets. Plus,
Yeah,
I don't have to put them together, so,
my nerdum goes way too much into everything,
yeah.
so I have to like choose little things from little things and. video games with Legos helps meet both of those things.
Heck
So
yes. So let's jump into
yeah.
some Avengers Doomsday news. We got a couple topics we want to
Ooh.
cover here. As we all know, it's been, actually, it's been, confirmed by Kevin Feige and Marvel that Thunderbolts cast will be in this, and the Fantastic Four cast will be in this, and that's been the two main groups of casting that has been officially confirmed by Marvel. Then obviously we're getting RDJ, obviously Doom, and then Anthony Mackie and Chris Evans has been confirmed to this. But Charlie Cox hasn't been confirmed to this. We know we're about to get drop Daredevil Born Again. So
Mhm.
much hype and pump around that.
Yes.
Daredevil to this day has not been in a movie except for Spider-Man No Way Home, and it's just like a real quick scene of him being a really good lawyer.
Mhm.
Uh, but this was dropped the other day online. With Charlie Cox working out with trainers, and they're like, "Hey, it's been awesome having Charlie and his wife Sam Cox in at this gym over the past few weeks. Charlie is currently training for his role in the upcoming Marvel Avengers movie, where he'll play Daredevil." Oops. I think they accidentally shouldn't have said that. I think they like later on retracted it. They're like, "Oh, we meant for season 2 Daredevil." Season 2 already? He's training for season 2 already? Come on now. So yeah,
No,
pretty
you
sure
said
that's an accidental
Avengers.
leak. Avengers
You
movie.
said
Yeah.
the word.
S
Do we know if it's Doomsday though, or if it's Secret Wars? Like I know that
yeah, so
like
Doomsday is actually starting filming in March of this year,
uh
and he's
well
training now.
yeah.
He just
Yeah, that
finished
would
his
make
training.
sense.
Yeah. So I think it's pretty safe to say we're getting Daredevil and Avengers Doomsday, which I'm so freaking happy about.
Okay, okay.
That also being said, there's been some leaked files and stuff, printouts that's on the internet, and so obviously it's not been officially confirmed in Marvel, so take this with a grain of salt. But it has been leaked, and there's actually a load of cast people who's not all of them, but it's been like some major cast people that's been released, and it's kind of the ones we just covered. But then also it says Elizabeth Olsen. So rumor is that, if she does come back and it's seeming like she's
Mhm.
coming back as Scarlet Witch, what if she teams up with Doom? Because rumors are with some of this plot, Doom is actually in his mind set out to actually save the multiverse initially, and maybe that's where, because also with this printout and this file that's leaked with this cast, at the top of it, the title that's been filed for their production is For All Time Production, which we all know For All Time Always is a Loki thing. And there people are saying that like this means like it's everything but confirmed that Loki's going to be in this. And so like what if Doom comes after the TVA, or comes to Loki at the tree that's holding this together, and thinking that his way is going to be saving the multiverse, and that Loki's not doing that. And we get a Loki versus Doom in Avengers Doomsday scene, which would be pretty sick. I'm not going to lie. But then what if, a lot of people want to see the redemption arc of Scarlet Witch. We got to see the bad side of her, the dark side twist. And I think if
Mhm.
we do get to see her, I don't think she's going to stay that villain. But
Mhm.
it's so she does go about, this, and this isn't a theory I came up with. This is a collaboration of theories I put together that I like, that I've heard from other YouTubers and stuff. But I heard that like, what if she teams up with Doom thinking she's helping save the multiverse now, but then Doom kind of that makes this twist that ends up not being for the good, because we all
Mhm.
know like he's gonna be the big bad, and then she stays being good and she ends up, splitting ways with Doom. That would be an interesting take on this story and this plot, and I'm not saying I'm not mad about it. Like I like it. I kind of, if it's not the way to go, I'm sure they'll do a great creative way. But I low key kind of wish this plot would take this route. What's your
Yeah.
thoughts?
I
What's your
mean,
thoughts on that? Or is there anything better that you think with her being involved you would like to see?
I don't know. I don't know about better, but like I'm also doing the like what if train with my brain because
Right,
we just
right,
watched What If, right?
right,
But like I'm like, okay, so like what if we saw Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, right? We
right.
got to see like all the different other Elizabeth Olsens that were
Yes.
out in the multiverse, right? So what if that Elizabeth Olsen is the one that like still has like twinges of Scarlet Witch in her,
Hmm.
and that's the one that is like now going out into the universe and like doing the things in the because that was Earth 616
838.
or
838.
838. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. That the one that's still alive.
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
838.
The one with the two kids that were
Yeah.
singing about ice cream. Yeah, that one. So,
That was a cringe
um,
scene. But anyways.
it was something, is what it was. But like, what if that Elizabeth Olsen has like magic now essences in her
Mm,
because if someone takes over you and you're using your magic, like
right, right.
maybe
The
now
little pieces
your
left behind.
DNA
Right.
exactly. Maybe now like and you got to kind of see it with like I know a lot of people don't like X-Men, right? But like that X-Men like Fox, right?
Mhm.
When the opening sequence and they're talking about like genes and you get to see like how all of your genes kind of like
Yeah, the
split off
DNA
and do things.
mutation.
Right,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
exactly. So if you have like that one gene and
Mhm.
now it's like splitting off, like it's going to make multiple, right? I don't know. But
Right,
anyway,
right.
this is where my brain's going. It's probably like completely off, but like what if that
Anything is possible.
happens?
Anything
And
is
she
possible.
now becomes the Scarlet Witch, but she has the two kids
Mhm.
and now she doesn't need to like go into multiple different universes because she has her two kids and doesn't really need to worry about that and White Vision is White Vision, right?
Right.
Um so like she becomes Scarlet Witch, but good Scarlet Witch, like you were saying. And we don't have to have that whole maybe like her team up with Doctor Doom, but
Yeah.
maybe she's gonna team up with Captain America
Mhm. Yeah,
like
I'm
she did
curious.
in Civil War.
I'm
So
curious if like there's something I like that idea of like what you're saying about like fragments left behind that maybe enhanced her powers. I would like to see it maybe like enhance her powers, but not give her the full Scarlet Witch powers
yeah.
like the other one had, because I think it
Hmm.
would be too OP. But then,
Yeah.
but then again, with her being more of a good Scarlet Witch, she would not. She would pull the reins back on that power controlling it because she wouldn't want
Hmm.
to do as devastating things as if she was bad. So
Right.
man, yeah, there's so many cool things, and like I ain't gonna lie,
Because then we
like
also have like third-eyed Stephen Strange that's kind of
yeah,
like floating around
right,
somewhere that we
right,
don't really know where
yeah,
he
with Clea,
is. Like,
yeah,
yeah. So like, are they gonna come in and
mm.
like, is she gonna team up with them or is she gonna fight them or like
And let's
what is
let's
gonna
be
happen?
real, regardless which route she goes, like her and Stephen Strange, like if they ever teamed up together, I feel like they'd be almost unstoppable. And
Mm-hmm.
like not, I mean, I don't know. So like and it all just depends on what route they show us on Doom and what power capabilities he has and what he's,
Yeah.
I don't know. So many possibilities. What if?
What if? Speaking of what if,
Yeah,
what
man.
if season 3?
What if season 3, season finale? I'm seeing a lot of both sides of the fence people online about
Mm,
this. But overall, I I liked like 60 to 70% of it. I did. Like the other
okay.
stuff was other, the stuff I'm not saying the other 30% of it to me was just kind of like real mediocre.
Hmm.
It wasn't awful. I don't think there was a
Yeah.
bad episode, but there was just some yawn episodes for me.
Yeah. So, again, I was in Belgium when this came out.
Right?
So I'm over here like, okay, like my time is completely weird. And now I'm trying to watch things
Mhm.
to like better understand, like not get spoiled on the internets and nobody's really talking about it and it's weird. But I watched it and I was like, okay,
Not what I
that
expected.
wasn't okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
the so for me, like it didn't really start picking up for me until I think number 4.
Oh, yeah.
Number 4 or number 5 for me.
Gotcha.
Um and then once I got down to like number 7 is when I understood that you needed to at least watch number 4
Mhm.
to understand what was happening. But those first 3 for me were like
Yeah.
trash.
Yeah, so
Giveaway.
real quick, we'll go over, like, the first one was the Hulk fought the Mech Avengers.
Mhm.
I was not what I expected it. To me, it was not that much mech, and it was more of, like, Hulk seeming like Godzilla. Uh,
I
it was
was like, this is the Power Rangers.
yeah, yeah. Well, I think that was the thing was, like, they're trying to give, like, a Gundam Power
Mhm.
Rangers, you know, nostalgia feel to some of us older people that grew up on that stuff. But I just don't think it was well executed.
Mm.
Uh, I didn't get much out of that. And then we got Agatha Went to Hollywood #2, which was fun. But I don't know. It was a little underwhelming still for me. The #3, the Red Guardian stops the Winter Soldier. I think that was a fun. I know a lot of people's like, I didn't want another buddy cop, da 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 da, whatever. But like, because Falcon Winter Soldier, we got buddy cop thing. I
Mm.
laughed. I thought this was a just a fun. It wasn't something like geared towards like a big storytelling arc of the whole season, but I thought it was just a super fun episode. And
Okay.
I wouldn't mind seeing like a 6 episode live action series of this. I
No, no, that
no,
I'm good with, but
but
it was something that I watched.
yeah. #4, this is one I see on the internet. A lot of people are like, WTF? And then I see a lot of people who are like, I loved it. Was Howard the Duck Got Hitched, which was kind of a continuation from what we get to see from the last, where him and Darcy, got nachos together and kind of,
Mhm. Yeah,
which I,
from when Thor
yeah,
didn't have Loki as his brother and went and
yeah,
partied in Vegas and
yeah,
then they got
yeah.
hitched. Yeah.
And, this was fun. Like, I think it's kinda hilarious she had an egg, and we get to see the birth of Birdie by the end of this, but to see
Mhm.
all the different villains, arcs of the MCU that we've known,
Yeah.
since 2008, I think, it was fun to see all of them chasing after this. I think that was
Yeah.
I think that was fun. It's a little wacky, but it was fun.
I honestly so I didn't really care for it
Yeah,
until later on.
yeah.
Like I didn't care about this episode until later on in the series. But
Gotcha.
continue.
And then, #5 was What If the Emergence, Destroyed the Earth? Uh, that was interesting. This is the one with, Riri, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So that was pretty cool. We get White Vision in this, which I've
Mhm.
been dying to see back in the live action. So this slightly satisfied my craving for more to see White Vision since WandaVision.
Mhm.
I think this was a fun episode. I actually really liked it.
Yeah.
I love it when the watcher steps in and he's
Mhm.
like, he's like, "It's just heartbreaking. I've seen this 30
He's
trillion
like,
times."
"Fuck
Yeah,
this.
and he's
I
like,
am
"You know what?
tired of watching this."
Nah." Yeah, he's like,
Yeah.
"Nah." He's like, "Don't give up." And, like, to
Mhm.
see her, like, pull that back, I don't know. I love this
Mhm.
episode. I really did.
This Okay, so this was the episode where I was like, "Okay, things are finally picking up."
Yeah.
Like, this is now finally and now I'm, like, halfway through the season.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, "What the fuck? What the fuck, what if?" Like, you've given me all of these great episodes, and now I'm
Mhm.
finally just okay. So anyway, yeah.
Yeah, no, no, you're right. I this was the first one, like, I was like, "Okay, this is pretty good storytelling."
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah.
and then we also the next one was 1872. What if 1872? And I
Mhm.
didn't expect to like this when I heard about it. I didn't expect to like this one as much as I did. Uh,
Yeah.
I was shocked. So this is like Shang-Chi and Kate Bishop back in the year 1872. It's all set up Western style. We get John Walker in this. We get I think the arms dealer from Ant-Man 2, Walter Goggins' character.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
whatever his name is, but
yeah, I
yeah,
couldn't
I
think
know
of it
exactly who
because
you're
he wasn't a
talking
very big
about.
character. Yeah,
No.
I thought this was cool. It made sense, like the theme they went with and the characters they picked and how they portrayed them. I was like, okay, I like this. And then I was like, oh, the hood. We haven't even got the hood. And also, I feel like this was a little bit of a hey, Ironheart's coming, guys. Here's a little piece of Ironheart. So they threw the hood in there. We didn't get to see the original hood character.
Mhm.
Off screen, the original hood character got killed off by Shang-Chi's
His
sister,
sister. Yeah.
Xiling, I think was her name. And
Uh,
yeah, so she actually ended up becoming the hood, and he ends up
yeah.
fighting his sister at the end. Kate
Mhm.
Bishop straight kills her. I'm like, woo! But this was a fun episode. I actually
Yeah.
did not expect to like this one as much as I did.
And
Uh,
then
w-
you got to see that kid, that was kinda
oh
like
yes, Iron
a little
Fist.
bit like Iron Fist,
No,
yeah.
he was going to be the adaptation to Iron Fist, which is more,
Oh,
the
okay.
comic accurate one. That's what, like, I think it was
Uh,
Iron Fist before or after Danny Rand. I think it's before in the comics.
mm.
So that was pretty cool because I did not expect that at all. Um,
Yeah, he was doing like the things, and I was like,
yeah,
"That's Iron Fist."
yes. Uh, episode number 7. What if the Watcher disappeared? Watcher getting
Mhm.
called out on his bullshit. So we get a little, backstory of the Watcher and then the other 3 Watchers and the vow he took, and that was
Mhm.
interesting. And then we get, these 4 right here.
Yeah.
They gotta go save the Watcher and stuff, and they get a couple shards of the dimension, the 5th dimension. Is it 5th dimension? I think.
Yeah.
Or whatever the dimension is that they
Yeah,
hide
no,
behind
it's
to
a fifth
watch.
dimension, yeah.
Okay. But yeah, then they go after them, just go save the Watcher and stuff, and then yeah, we get episode 6. Or no, go ahead.
Hold on.
Nope, go ahead.
So, did you see when we had Storm, like, come up in this
Yes,
one, did you hear the X-Men theme song playing when she, like,
yes,
appeared? No,
yes.
like, so okay. So at first, I was geeking out so much, I didn't hear shit. I was damn near crying, like, sitting next to AD, like, freaking out, like, I'm like, "Oh my god! Oh my god!" I was so happy.
Oh, and to hear
And
her voice too. Whew.
yes, absolutely. And so I heard the voice, like I heard her voice, Allison's voice, and I like saw everything, and I was like, "This
Mhm.
is amazing." And then after I stopped freaking out, and he paused it, and he looked at me, and he's like, "Did you hear what just happened?" And I was like, "No, what are you talking about?" And so he like rewound it. And he played it again, and then I heard the X-Men theme song, playing as, like, she, like, came up, and I was just like, "That's even
Oh, yeah.
more amazing!" Like,
Oh, yes.
who does that?
Yes. Well,
What if? What if does
it's just
that?
like in Ms. Marvel when they mention mutants, and in the background they do that, and like they play that X-Men '90s. I was like, "Dang, okay." And they do the same thing when Professor X and Multiverse of Madness rolls up in his yellow chair. And
Yeah.
it's like I love how they keep doing this with the little X-Men music.
Mhm.
Yes, keep giving it to us.
Yeah.
I will
So
say, like,
sorry.
no, 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 no. I loved Storm in this. We also get Natasha Lyonne's Birdie, uh,
Yes.
fully grown, which it makes you wonder if she's going to look like this or this is just a variant of her because Natasha Lyonne is confirmed to be in the Fantastic Four movie.
Oh,
Yeah,
do
and so we get her
we don't know
voice
if it's
in.
for Birdie though,
We don't
or
know, but she's
okay.
voicing Birdie in this, so a lot
Mhm.
of people think that it's gonna be Birdie, so, um, yeah, I don't know, so I wonder if we got our first glimpse of what maybe the live action version is gonna look like if we get her. uh,
Mhm.
I love how the animated character definitely looks like her, like, you could
Mhm.
it looks
Yeah.
so much like her.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I love
But
that they do that with like all of these like animated characters is that they really put their own personality into the character itself.
yeah, I don't know. So I love Peggy Carter. I love Captain Carter, but I don't know how I feel like about her like outdoing Storm. I'm gonna be honest with you. I mean, Storm is a Omega level mutant
Mhm.
goddess. I mean,
Yep.
goddess of thunder in this,
Yep.
and like I don't know. I felt in the What If series because like I love Peggy Carter, I love Captain
Yeah.
Carter, and like I love we got to see her live action. I hope we get to see her. They say we're going to see her again in the Avengers movies. I hope so, but like I think she was a little overplayed throughout the whole entire What If series.
Yeah. And I mean like I get it because
Yeah,
in season 2 at the end of it, like you got to see her and Owatu
right.
like really like
Look at the
okay, we're going to
tree
like
that
do this
Loki's at.
together. Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
because she has no universe.
So exactly.
Yeah.
So when like you got to see that
Mhm.
and knowing now that like they really focused like these last 2 episodes around Captain Carter is because of
Mhm.
that relationship and I'm like, okay, I mean, yeah, cool, but it really did let me down in episode 8 and what if
Mhm.
um when we did see like so at first Storm was like beating one of those like watcher dudes' asses
Yeah.
like hardcore, like just
Yeah.
taking him off on her own. and then all of a sudden, like, everybody kind of comes to help her, and then now there's like three of them, and I'm like, she doesn't need
I,
that,
I
but
tell you what, I did
okay.
like the Watcher having them take the oath, and then they all
Mm,
became Watchers. I'm not gonna
yeah,
lie,
that
I
was
was like,
cool.
that was pretty sick. Like that,
Yeah,
I really like that.
and then how they all kind of like changed their like garb to
Yeah,
be Watcher like.
armor type,
Um,
like yeah,
mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, that
I did like that, and I
yeah,
love
no,
how they kind of
that was hella neat.
change the perception of the OG watchers, and like it's kind of like, ooh, tables have turned. I'm teaching you a lesson, now type thing. Um,
Yeah, and I like that whole like, okay, you've been watching all this time, but now
mm,
it's time for you to see. And I was like,
yeah,
I like how you said that
I do too
because
because that's
like,
like a hear and listen type thing, but it's a watch and see.
yeah.
I love that.
Mhm,
Yes, and also like there's good metaphors behind that. Like you
mhm,
know people look at things that they've seen it and they're so set in their ways, and then like just because this is what you've known your whole life, or this is what you've believed your whole life, or this is your stance on something, it doesn't mean that it can't ever be changed, or you should be so close-minded that you shouldn't be open to hear or see other things. So like I don't
mhm.
know, there's so many things about that I did love. One thing I did love though at the end, and it's like a bittersweet thing. It's almost like a fucking Sour Patch Kid for me. Was all the what if variants they showed us that could happen on the freaking season finale of What If, and I'm
I
gonna pull
was
them
like,
up
why didn't
here.
you? Yes,
Yeah.
please do.
So
Please
real
do.
quick before I pull them up, we'll go over them, but it's like, and I think because they did this, I don't think they were thinking too much ahead on strategy. I think this is why you get so many people kind of shitting on this What If season, because they're like, "Oh, we could have gotten these characters, but you gave us these storylines." Well, let's be real. What If is a infinite, like I mean, they say like an infinite, universes that can be told. So you can't
Mhm.
be mad at what they're telling because there's
No, I'm
infinite
not
amount of
mad about.
universes. But
Yeah,
man,
but
there's some cool variants in here. Here we go. Samurai Ghost Rider, Riri Williams as the Punisher, Six Armed Spider Man. We have Wasp Miss Marvel variant, Kingo
mhm,
Iron Man, Blade as Moon Knight, which I think is so sick. Uh, let's see what else. Weapon X Thanos with his freaking adamantium claws. That would be a character I would not want to come across. We get a Gamora variant there. Kind of hard to tell. Scarlet Witch Duck. I'm good on that one. But anywho, we get Jubilee as a Silver Surfer, comic accurate Deadpool, Dragon Hawkeye. Get Maestro as Doctor Strange, which is freaking wild. A Skrull as Captain America, which you get to see in comics and stuff like that, which I thought was pretty cool. Star Lord with the 10 rings, which I think would be crazy OP. Uh, Scarlet Witch variant, Cersei variant, a Hella VR game, a Western Loki. Man, there's pretty cool artwork we got to see in variants
mhm.
on these, and I think it gave so much people. They're like, "Oh my god, I wish we would have seen these. Why are you throwing this artwork up on a season finale?" I think they'll bring. I think they'll bring. Give it like maybe 3 or 4 years, and I think they'll do another round of seasons on What If. I really do.
I hope that they don't.
Okay.
Hear me out.
Okay.
So I think so based off of like what we've seen, right?
Mhm.
Um, and I really hope that they just finish like this is it for What If. Like they said that this is it, this is gonna
Sure.
be it. But I want them to take those characters and do other things with them. Like we have the Marvel Zombies that's coming out.
True.
So why don't we get like a Western 1872 or
Yeah.
whatever, just whole series,
Kinda
just like
like
eight
6
episodes
episode.
or
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And then just do the one-offs like that. And then we have the Midnight Suns, right?
Right.
And what if we get like some of those variants in Midnight
Mhm.
Suns of like we have that Ghost Rider, right? I don't really know how comic accurate that is, but like there's that.
Right.
Um, so I mean like I don't want them to do more of What If because
Mhm.
I'm gonna feel gypped
Right.
because I feel like they could have I'm not saying that I want more, but I'm like, what I'm trying to say is, why didn't we use some of those other really cool characters for
Right.
the first like 4 episodes that were hella dry?
Yeah.
And I'm like sitting here like, what? Why am I watching this right now? This is terrible. Um, Now come back to say number 4 was alright because, like, I needed number 4 for the Howard getting hitched and them having this egg for Birdie to
Right.
be a thing and understanding how all of that happened. Um, but at the same time, I'm just like, "Ah."
Yeah, I think they could do like, not yeah, I think that makes sense. Like, I mean, kinda like, I mean, like you said with, Marvel Zombies, and then
Mhm.
honestly, this Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, that's like a what if, but its own story of multiple episodes. So yeah, we don't need
Exactly.
what if seasons to give a multiversal watcher in story with combining them all. I think they could
Right.
actually do like you said, but name it like what if 1872 6 episode series. They don't have to be tied in. Just like you said,
Mhm.
like let them be their own standalone series. And
Yeah.
I think they would be successful. I do.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
here for it.
Yeah. No, I don't even think that they have to say the word "what if" 1872. I think they just, like, call it, like, Western Avengers or something, like,
Yeah.
super corny like
Yeah.
that. And then just, like, go with that, like, animation style or go
Yeah.
with whatever. And people that have seen that, like, the fact that Marvel Zombies isn't called What If Marvel Zombies, like,
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
you're right, yeah.
it's like, that that's a part of What If
Right.
because you've seen What If, and that ties it.
You
I don't know.
automatically know it. Yeah, yeah. No, that
Yeah.
makes sense. I like that.
I don't know. Just thoughts. But
Well,
anyway, you ready
th
to go into some DC?
I am.
Let's go.
Creature Commandos.
Yeah.
Episodes we covered 1 through 3, prior to our holiday break. So we have episodes 4,
Mhm.
Chasing Squirrels, episode 5, The Iron Pot, and then episode 6, Priatel Skillet. So, man, I I'm enjoying this. Like,
Yeah.
it's good. Like, at the beginning, I'm like, "This ain't bad."
Mhm.
As it's progressed and gotten on, I've loved it more and more and more. The development of these characters, what we get to learn more in the backstories of these characters. I like how we get flashbacks of each character per episode, so it gives us a little bit more of an in-depth connection, and we can, like, have a little bit more emotion and tie to these, and come to find out, like, most of these people aren't that bad. They were just
I know. Just
stood or
in the
done
wrong
wrong. Oh, like the weasel one?
the weasel.
Oh
That
my
was so
god. That was
sad. It
so
was so
sad.
sad. Like, this
Ah,
guy did nothing wrong.
yes,
He
and,
was just there trying to play with some kids.
never did I expect me to feel an emotional attachment and sorry for Weasel, since we've seen him in live action, and it seems like he's kind of just, a numbskull that doesn't understand or get things. He seems like just a creature, and he's not like a cute creature by no means, but, like, after seeing his backstory, it's like, man, James Gunn does good with the storytelling,
Mhm.
and, like, making you, feel something for these characters, and then, like, the bride, and oh my god, Alan Tudyk's character, Dr. Phosphorus, that's
Oh my
sad, and, like, I didn't expect him to be that good either, and that stuff happened to him.
Ah.
Whoo, uh,
That was
I'm
so
lo
sad because, like, it's a lot of reminiscence to, Doctor Freeze or Mr. Freeze, right? Mr.
Mhm.
Freeze? Yeah.
Mr. Freeze, yeah,
Yeah, so it's a lot like him where, like, he was just trying to save his wife, and
yeah,
and that's all he wanted to do, and, like, it didn't work out, and now he's a villain. Like, that's the same thing with Doctor Phosphorus, like, he just wanted to cure
yeah,
cancer, and he's like, "Alright, well, this is, like, probably gonna be really bad if it gets out into the real world, so let me just fudge some numbers and, like, send out some reports."
yeah,
And then they're like, "We saw that you fudged the numbers, you didn't think we'd notice?
mm,
Go into your pot and
yep,
go and take this, like, irradiated blood type thing or nuclear waste or
and
whatever it
they thought
was."
it was gonna kill him.
Yeah, they thought it was, but no, it did not. And like that like creepy part where he was just like, everyone thinks I'm smiling, but I'm not. And I'm like, yo.
Yeah, and then the scene where he's like hiding out in that house and he eats breakfast with, or like cereal with that little girl, and then playing with her in the. I was just waiting for like there be like a twist, him to snap, and then
Yeah,
like he's throwing her up or whatever, and then asks him for direction, takes off to the castle. I was like, whew.
yeah,
But then it also just
yeah.
makes you feel that much more sad for him because his kid and his wife
Because
being
yeah,
killed.
that's all he wanted to do was just play with this kid. Like he was like, "Man, I
Yes,
really wish that you didn't see me because I didn't want there to be any witnesses."
I
And
know.
then
It's
it
like,
like cuts
oh,
away, and I
yes,
was just like, "Oh,
yes,
don't you fucking do
yeah.
that."
I'm like, we're gonna
And
come
then
back to
all
a
of a
scene and she's
sudden,
gonna be dead.
and you hear her screaming, and then her
Yes,
parents like wake up and like run down, and then just see him like throwing her up in the air, like how like
yes,
parents do with
yes.
their kids. And he's just like, "Oh, okay, here you go." And she's just like giggling and just like running back to her parents. She's like, "I'm just so happy."
Oh my god,
And
and then also freaking Frankenstein monster. Oh
mm,
my god, like David Harbour, man. I love David Harbour. Like more I see him, the more I love him. But then like how they're storytelling Frankenstein monster, and then like with the old lady that took care of him. And then at the
yeah.
end, she's like, "Don't leave me. I don't want to be alone." He's like, "I'm not going to let you be alone." And then boom, it twitches, and he just beats her head with a pot, so she don't have to be alone for the rest of her life. And takes her
Ha.
freaking dog.
She's
It's
like,
like,
"Why did you lock him outside? He doesn't need to be here for this."
oh
Like,
my god! Like,
Jesus
I
Christ.
I will say this, and I can't believe I'm saying this. I've enjoyed this series more than What If, and like I'm diehard
Yes.
Marvel, but like James Gunn might be doing some things to me, like, uh, like I'm loving this.
I mean, good storytelling is good storytelling,
It
and
is,
if
it is.
Creatures Commandos, yes, has been so much better storytelling and has me so much more involved and attached, and I'm waiting for the
Yeah,
next episode, and I'm like, "Oh,
yeah. So
when
do
is the next one coming out?"
think Cersei's telling the truth, and the Rick Flagon is like over his head and not understanding, this is the wrong thing taken up for this princess, and it's just him, lust blinding him? Or do you think Cersei's playing them?
I think Cersei's playing them because of that weird professor chick
Gotcha. I am curious because, like, you
that was Clayface, but wasn't like
yeah. Oh yeah, I did
that.
not expect to see Clayface die.
Yeah, for like we saw him for like all of 5 seconds, and he was gone, and I was like, "Oh God, no, okay."
Yeah, which was also voiced by Alan Tudyk.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah.
but, man, I'm loving this. I'm so ready for this. It's one more episode, right? Just one more and it's
I don't.
done?
I thought there was 8. I hope that there's 8, but I don't know anymore.
Okay, I hope there is 2, I don't know. But yeah, I'm loving it. I'm here for it. Yeah, James Gunn
Your
is doing
McDonald's.
something
I'm
right.
loving it.
Yeah. But yeah, next thing on the list, James Gunn and DC again. The Superman trailer. It dropped literally, I think it dropped literally right after our last episode. Uh,
Mhm.
man, or did we talk about it? I can't remember if we talked about it or not.
We talked about when we thought it was gonna come out, but it
That's
didn't
right. That's right.
drop yet.
I think it
Yeah.
dropped like a day after our last episode or a couple days after. But
Yeah.
man, the music, the visuals. It
Damn it, there's only 7 episodes in Creature Commandos. There's
Oh,
only
there is
one
one more.
more. No.
Ah. But, the Superman trailer, which was originally titled Superman Legacy, now it's just titled Superman. Um, so good. It has my attention. So, I never expected, let alone a DC project, to just play with, like, literally no words. Hardly no words in this trailer, but make
Mhm.
me feel something emotionally. Like, it just makes you feel super hopeful, and, like, it gives you that classic not happy, but classic hopeful superhero feel,
Yeah.
and slightly, I don't know, and then, like, how they take the old Superman music, John Williams Superman music, and they give it the twist with the electric guitar, I think. I can't remember whose piece that's actually playing. It works, and, like, ah, I mean, we get to see, official, fully edited Clark Kent version, which I
Mhm.
think I think works. I like his posture. You can tell he kind of does the Christopher Reeve thing. he completely changes his stance and his posture. We don't get to hear
Mhm.
him talk, so I'm super anxious to hear how he talks. Uh, but then like the visuals of his Superman, and then just him saving a kid, while these canisters explode.
Mhm.
The visuals for this thing, it looks good. We kind of talked shit on it, of like the snapshots while filming. But this goes to show you can't judge stuff but before, post production and things are fully
Yeah.
finished. But I can't
I mean,
believe
we got
this.
to see Nathan Fillion's bowler haircut
Yeah, yeah.
in the trailer too,
Which is
and
comic
it
accurate, oh, it's so
yeah,
ugly. It's so ugly.
yeah. But knowing now kind of knowing-ish that he's
Right.
supposed to be like a villain.
Right. Well, I think he's like in a kind of like in a like a slight antagonist or someone that if so I'm not super educated on his comic character, but from
Yeah.
what I've heard and learned is like he's just a hard person to deal with.
Mhm.
And yeah, and I think he's more from what I understand, like he's more of like kind of very sarcastic and more comic-y, and hard to deal
And I
with type
mean,
character.
if you
So
really dealt with anybody that's an adult with a bowler haircut, that's pretty much what you're dealing with.
yeah. And I think that would be a perfect character for Nathan Fillion because he's hilarious. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, no, I love that man. Like protect that man. Like I
Yeah.
love him
Oh
so
yeah.
much. I
Even
have
just in the TV show Castle, I love him in Castle too.
I watched him in Firefly. There's
Mhm.
like I can't remember
He's in
what
Guardians
the
too.
yes. There is a movie with Neil Patrick Harris and him and they sing in it and I cannot remember what the name of this movie is.
Hmm.
It's
I'm not sure.
sing and if Felicia Day is in it, I'm pretty sure.
Huh.
This sing about four sweater vests. I cannot remember anything else about this movie. But it's hilarious. Anyway, I'm gonna have to like look that up and get back to you on it. But
Nice,
yeah,
nice.
love that man. Love him.
But yeah, I'm super excited for this. This is probably f for the first time ever in, like, one of my top 3 movies I'm looking forward to for 2025 is a DC project.
Well, I mean, I've always loved Superman.
Mhm. Yeah, I
Um,
have too, and I like Henry Cavill Superman, but I like how, like I loved Henry Cavill Superman, but, like, I
mhm.
like how this is giving more of a comic, hopeful superhero nostalgia feel,
It's given
and
me a lot of like
instead of a dark brooding, everything's dark and I don't know. I feel like this is gonna be
yeah,
one of those
no,
things where,
it's
like
more like Christopher Reeves like
yeah,
Superman,
yeah,
like
yeah.
the original in my mind original Superman because that's the
Mhm.
Superman I grew up with. So like seeing this and with this trailer, it literally made me feel like I was a kid again
Yeah.
watching it.
Well, and
And
also,
and
I
it was
heard
just a trailer.
David Cornsweet also fought to have the red trunks back on this character. Like,
Good.
James Gunn actually wasn't something like he just said, "This is how it's gonna be." David Cornsweet, he's like, Superman needs to be inviting and needs to be approachable, from anybody, and it needs to be very obvious that he's a hero. And I do like how they have a very nostalgia, colorful look about this trailer in
Mhm.
this. It just gives you kind of like you said, Christopher Reeve, like just an OG heroes are heroes, villains are villains. We don't have, and maybe I'm wrong on this. We'll find out. But this, there's so many in the past 20 years. They wanted to make you be able to relate and feel for the villains and maybe see the villain side and justify what they're doing. And I think this is going to be bad guys are bad guys, good guys are good guys. There might be a little twist here and there in it, but I'm here for it. I, I'm here for it. I love it. So,
Yeah. No, I'm going to theaters to watch this
oh yeah,
eventually.
definitely, definitely, and I got a feeling, long as I love it the first time, this will be the first DC project I see more than one time in the theaters as well. I'm happy about this though. Like, the only reason I'm not a huge DC fan is because we all know, like, I didn't grow up on comics, so I base a lot of my stuff off film and TV,
Mhm.
and just DC and the live action film world just hasn't ever really done it for me. So I'm if you can give me good film and TV stuff and like give me a bigger expansion of things to enjoy, shoot, yeah, I'm here for it.
Yeah.
Speaking of things in James Gunn's world, though, uh, one person that well, I say one person. We all know he's brought back. Oh, Amanda Waller. Her character is going to be the same. That's being brought back into James Gunn's DCU by. Wow, I'm drawing a blank right now on who plays her. I cannot believe this because I really actually love this actress. Yeah, I am
All I
actually.
can think of is How to Get Away with Murder because
Yeah, yeah.
she's yeah,
That's the
and I
first thing I seen
can't.
her in.
Yes. Something Davis, isn't it?
Yeah, Viola Davis. Yeah,
Viola.
yeah. So we
I
know
was
her
like
character is
Violet.
coming
No.
back, but out of like a lot of the main superhero characters, we obviously know we're not getting none of those people back. But Jason Momoa, who has actually spoke on this years ago, interview, he's like, when I actually tried out for Aquaman, I actually he went to try out for Batman at first. And he's like, I know I'm not going to get this, but it's just kind of, run of the mill thing. I need to do this. And then they called me back in after they announced that Ben Affleck had gotten Batman. And they're like, hey, we want you to be a character, but Ben Affleck's Batman. So do you know who we're going to be? He's like, oh, yeah. He's like, Lobo. And they're like, what? And he's like, yeah, Lobo. He's like, that's who you're going to have me play, right? And they're like, no, he's not. That character's not even in this universe. We're going to have you play Aquaman. And he's like, what? He's like, I don't even look like Aquaman. And then they pitched their vision of the new Aquaman. He's like, oh, cool. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I can do this. But he's like, I've always wanted to play Lobo. He's like, I grew up reading comics. And he goes, and Lobo was his favorite character. And I think I don't know if it's confirmed, but I think it's like everything but confirmed. But James Gunn's even teasing it on his socials too, that he is bringing Jason Momoa in as Lobo. And let's be real, the guy looks like him. Like he definitely has a good portrayal for Lobo. Uh, I like Jason Momoa on certain things, but there's a lot of things I'm not a big fan of his with. There's he seems to be one of those people that he can act, but there's some movies where I'm like, you're playing the same character, or like obviously we know the Fast Saga is bad, but his character in the Fast Saga, the acting was so bad. Oh my god,
I
it's
don't
so
know
bad.
if that's his fault or if it's the script though. Like
Yeah, I
at
mean
some point in
he
time,
could have
like
been directed to be that way, So,
yeah.
uh, but anywho, I think he'd be a good Lobo. And James Gunn's teasing it. It's all over the internet. I think it's pretty much everything but confirmed that
So
he is coming
who
back.
who is Lobo? Is it like a villain? Is it a hero?
Lobo, I believe, is a villain. So
Okay.
one thing I
I
didn't
mean,
do, like I
yeah.
said, didn't grew up on comics, so I don't know a whole lot about Lobo.
Mm,
But let's see. Lobo is a fictional character appearing in the comic books published by DC Comics. He was created by Roger Slipher and Keith Giffen. First appeared in Omega Man #3. He's an alien from a utopian planet of
what
Caesarnia,
kind of powers does
and
he got? Does he have like
works.
X-ray vision with his red
He's
eyes? Laser
immortality,
vision? Okay.
immortality, healing factor, and vulnerability. So, yep. But
So why does he have red eyes? If you're not gonna have laser vision, why do you have red eyes?
I don't know. I I don't know. But yeah, it says Lobo was first introduced as a hardened villain in the 1980s, but he actually soon fell out of use with the writers and remained in limbo until his revival as a bounty hunter with his own comic in the early 1990s. So,
Hmm.
yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
That'd be
I need to
interesting.
educate myself, and like with them bringing this character in, I'll probably try to read some of the comics and get familiar with this character. But
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, there's probably like a DC wiki out there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like a fandom wiki that I'll probably like because that's honestly like for me because like I haven't gotten into comics and I've still have yet to read a comic even though now I officially have like comics to read. Um I like that's how I get a lot of my information.
Mm,
And that's how I found out that like Storm actually has like a variant where she wields Mjolnir,
right.
which is now what I've seen, which I thought was really cool because I like did all that research, found it, and now it's a thing that came to fruition. Um, so I think that's what I'm gonna do is just like do some research, figuring out like really what he
Yeah.
is, and
That's
I
one
think
thing
a
for
bounty
20.
hunter would be, like, pretty interesting
Yeah,
because
that's
he's,
one
like,
thing I
big and
wanna
tough.
do for 2025 is I actually wanna try to get myself into actually reading the comics and start growing my knowledge on these characters, so,
Okay.
yeah. Last of the DC news, the Batman 2. This is a younger Batman. The story, as we know, as we see, this is like Batman, what, year 2, I think, or something like that, as Robert Pattinson portrays. Th Supposed to come out in 2026 and has officially been delayed to 2027. So Robert Pattinson's not a young man. He's not getting any younger. So if they're keeping this young Batman portrayal, hmm, I wonder how well it's going to work if they keep pushing things back like this. I know there's talk. This was going to be a Elseworld story in the Gunn universe and not be the Brave and the Bold. But then now there's been talk where Gunn's maybe entertaining the idea of this being his Batman and then dropping the Brave and the Bold. But then they're like, how well does this play into the same universe as we see Metropolis and Superman? Because this
Mm,
is such a different tone.
mhm.
So that's just kind of like a buzz and rumor thing talked about right now. But one kind of cool thing that we did get to see in Creature Commandos was the silhouette of Batman.
Bruh.
Yeah, and
How did we
dude,
forget to talk
dude,
about that?
yeah, dude was jacked and big, and so like,
Mm,
and he left it a dark silhouette. James Gunn said because he doesn't want anybody being like, oh, so this is what he's going to fully look like. He's like, because it's not really set in stone how we're going to design him, so that's why they
mhm,
did a silhouette of him. And I ain't gonna lie, this looked like a jacked Batman. I mean, he was a
mhm,
big Batman. So like, I don't think they're going to go with the Robert Pattinson Batman being the current, main universe. I think it still will be an Elseworld. But I ain't gonna lie, like I know he wanted to play him, and I'm not saying they'll get him to play him, but Alan
mhm.
Richardson wanting to play Batman, that looked like Alan Richardson's physique in the silhouette of the Batman we've seen on
Yeah.
Creature Commandos for sure.
Didn't it also get, like, released or leaked or rumored or whatever, that James Gunn isn't gonna be doing a backstory for Batman anymore?
Yeah, yeah. He said we don't need a backstory, just like with Superman. The Superman movie's taking place. Lois Lane knows who Superman is. Lex Luthor already doesn't like Superman. Like he's like, we don't need this backstories. And same thing for Batman. He's like, we don't need the backstory. We all know what happened.
Okay.
So it will take place in the middle, right dead center of Batman storytelling as well, just like Superman is. I'm here for. I think that's good. I think for
Yeah.
the past 30 years, we've always get an origin story of everything. I think even far as people who aren't comic readers or people who are comic readers, we've gotten enough origins from film and comics and animation. We don't need no more backstories unless it's a completely character that's never been done before on screen. Then maybe, and that's just maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, I like that we're diving into, like, Supergirl,
Hmm.
with the James Gunn because, like,
Oh,
she isn't really.
oh. So sorry, you said Supergirl. It made me think. This picture right here. People are analyzing things. If you actually zoom in on that robot's head, you can see like I we can't zoom in here, but
Okay.
yeah. But if you zoom in, there's plenty of videos out there. New Rockstars is one. You zoom in on a glare of the head, you can see people in the reflection of it,
Mhm,
and one of them looks like Supergirl. It looks like a blonde girl with it
mhm.
looks like kind of like a suit, and you can almost see the S on her chest. And
Huh.
so she's not been confirmed. And like they're only saying we're going to get her like come the Supergirl movie in 2026.
Mhm.
But there's a good chance that her character may actually debut in this movie because I'm not gonna lie, it looks a lot like her character in the reflection of
Did
that.
you Speaking of, like, people with blonde hair, did you see that Sarah Dean said that she was in this
Yeah, I
trailer?
seen her. So, like, if you're actually, as it's coming in on the Daily Bugle, you see a chick run out the Daily Bugle front doors and to the right. That's her. Yep, I thought
So
that
if
was
you
pretty
guys don't
cool.
know who Sarah Dean is, she's one of the people that we've actually,
Yeah,
interviewed, and she said it
cosplayer,
on this
Seattle's
podcast.
Beauty, on
Mhm.
Instagram.
Yeah, and, like, on the podcast when we were interviewing her, she was like, "Oh, yeah, by the way, if you guys didn't know, I'm, like, definitely in,
In the
like,
movie.
the Superman
Yeah.
movie." And then, now she's, like, in the trailer, and,
In the
it's
initial
it's
trailer,
really
it's like,
cool.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So cool. So cool.
yeah.
And I been following her Instagram, and I think she's actually working on filming something else on the East Coast again. So like I'm curious like what she's working on filming there. So
Yeah. Only time will
oh,
tell.
it will, it will. So I think that's it on DC. Ready to jump into some
Yes.
Star Wars?
Let's slice it up.
Part them letters up.
Mhm.
Oh man. Yeah. So Skeleton Crew. it, it's been fun. It's not something super deep. Super like ooh, this is a huge connectivity thing to the rest of the Star Wars universe things we've seen. It's been fun though. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sure how you feel about it. Have you kept up to date on all the episodes?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we covered episodes 1 through 3, 1 through 3 on up for our holiday break. So we're gonna kind of like go over roughly 4 through 6. 4 is can't say I remember no Atten. 5
Mhm.
is you have a lot to learn about pirates, and 6 is zero friends again. Uh, but yeah, man, I don't know. Are you still like meh about it?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So like I like it don't have a whole lot of ties to like it's built for a younger crowd. And so I'm keeping that in my mind though, right? I think
Mhm.
it's a fun younger audience show. I do.
I
Like
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 that they introduced a lightsaber
yeah.
and for Win to like having it holding upside down because he's
Yeah.
not familiar with it. That was hilarious. Um, but then like other than that, I was just like, ah. Oh, when they were on the planet with all the
Uh
spas and there was
yeah.
like no kids allowed. The what's her name? Potiek? Potic? I don't remember. What
Oh,
the
yeah,
girl with the
Pocket.
yeah, Pocket, thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
She's the one that voices Merida in
Oh, okay.
like Brave.
Yeah.
So like when I was sitting there and I was like listening to her voice, I was like, I
That
know who
sounds
this
familiar.
is. Yeah, and like I was watching the new rock stars and they were like, yeah, she's from Brave, and I was like, oh yeah, this is the girl that like does like the bows and the arrows with the giant
Yeah.
curly red hair, just completely different, but in real life. So that was pretty cool.
I like how there was
Yeah,
that huge creature in the mud bath that ended up helping them.
yeah,
That was
and then the
hilarious.
giant crab that looked like the crab from
Yeah.
Moana that was
The
not
yeah, the
friendly.
tech crab.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
the
was,
trash crab, the trash
trash
panda
crab,
crab.
trash crab. I don't know, I think it's fun. Like, I'm keeping in my mind that, like, this is built for a younger audience, but, like, I still obviously wanna talk about it. I still anything in the Star Wars world, I wanna see. I just love Star
Mhm,
Wars that much, but I think it's fun, and I love Jude Law's character. I love how, like, you just keep going back and forth between so, like, you like him, you hate him, you like him, you hate him,
mhm.
and we get to see, like, man, he's a super scoundrel, like, he's went by so many names and done so many people wrong, and, like, I really hope they dive in and give us a backstory on this character and why he's like this. Uh,
Nah, some people are just born evil.
this is true. This is true. And maybe he's just a scoundrel that just so happily had a little bit more midichlorians than everybody. So,
Yeah.
uh, but I don't know. I think it's fun. I think it's lighthearted. I think it's fun. I like the interaction that the kids have with each other and how
Yeah.
they bump heads, but then they learn lessons. I think it's a very wholesome series. I think it's very
I like
wholesome.
how we got the new ship too. When the like
Yes, when
claw thing was
it
like
shredded its hole. Yeah,
yeah.
that was pretty
And
cool.
then like you got a whole new ship
Yeah,
and then Wynn's like dib on the new ship and yeah.
that was
That
pretty
was
cool.
pretty cool.
I thought that was pretty neat. As a man, I'm like, how convenient. But then I was like, but that new ship does look pretty cool. I ain't gonna lie.
Can you imagine all the new toys?
Right,
It's like
right.
you have two different toys now.
Yeah, and, and,
For
and
all the
like
kids out there.
I'm super intrigued though, and like super wanting to know what's going on with At in this planet and who's actually running it though. Like, do you?
Mm.
Because like I don't know, and maybe the captain died, and I'm thinking too much into this, but I'm thinking maybe the captain maybe still alive and is part of running this undercover. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking
But
too
then
much
who
into the.
was the skeleton on the ship?
Well, he had first mates and stuff that was on the ship. It wasn't just him and the droid. So like, there's multiple
Oh, I thought they
skeletons in the
all
ship.
I thought the mutiny happened and that everybody like he killed everybody.
Oh, maybe it did.
And then he was
Yeah.
just like with him and the droid.
I don't know. I
Which
still
I
got so
didn't.
many questions, and I'm still I'm in. It's fun.
I don't know. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't I do you think the captain is dead? Captain whatever his face is. Because I can't remember his name. But like I am wondering who is in charge of Atten. Is there actually treasure on Atten? Like, can they actually just print off these old
Mhm.
Republic credits, like to no end?
Right. I almost feel like
Like,
they're mining the core of this planet, and I think they have like a giant gold refinery, hidden somewhere where they just got freaking. They're just pouring, into modes of these like the Republic credits we've seen that look so brand new but are so
mm-hmm,
ancient. I think they have
mm-hmm.
modes of those, and they're just pouring these. But I think that there's a reason for this, and I think maybe it's supplying maybe the Empire trying to rise again and or something along those lines because we're back in the Republic era to where the Empire has fallen and everything, and we have X-wings monitoring and stuff, like almost like police, and so
Mm.
I think it's maybe I wonder if it's maybe hidden because it's the Empire trying to build up credits of money and try to rebuild its army to try to rise again.
Or they're like making a actual like maybe they are making a Jedi temple and or they are becoming or they're like gonna start doing Padawan things because they
Oh
have
yeah.
young kids.
But why would they keep it a
Or
secret when, like, the Jedi temples and stuff were on Coruscant and it was, like, very, very publicized and very,
because like Jedis aren't a thing anymore. Like and
true,
they're like
true, 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 true.
they're
Maybe they're
completely
just
not a thing
nervous
anymore.
of, exposing themselves right away.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of pirates running around, and you don't really
Mm,
want to like
true.
if you don't have you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket and reveal it to
Right,
everybody
right.
else before
Sure.
like it's actually a thing. Um, oh shit, I had another idea and it completely like it's gone now.
Oh, no.
I don't know. It's fine.
She says okay.
It's fine. Oh no, yeah. Okay, cool. So you remember how in Clone Wars or the clone people, the stormtroopers,
Yeah.
when they were making them, like that
Yeah, on
costs a lot of money,
Camino.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like what if this is funding that? Like and it's a
Oh,
secret. Like and this is like that's how this ties in. Or I don't know, maybe. I don't know.
man. So many options. What if?
What if
I don't know. I'm here for it, though. I'm ready to see this. I think there's only one episode left of it, too. So
I don't know. I'm just here watching it. I'm pretty sure I just watched all of them yesterday too to
oh,
like
really? Yeah, get
yeah,
caught up.
because yeah, and I try to watch it a couple of times, but
Mhm.
it was all while I was sick, and I kept on like falling asleep or whatever. So I finally got to watch all of it yesterday, and that's why it's like so fresh in my mind
Right.
about like what's going on. But yeah, it's a thing that I'm watching. It's just that's how I feel right now.
Well, that being said, that's all we got for Star Wars today. No new news that, I've seen online that's worth talking about, so, ready to jump in some educated wish?
Let's go.
So, Nosferatu,
Yes.
we both seen this.
Yep.
Completely different take on vampires and things that we are used to seeing. Uh,
Mm.
very, very artsy, very, Willem Dafoe, man. That dude is on one, like, lately. Like, out of nowhere, it's like, boom. Like, he's always been a great actor, but I swear to God, he's been, like, a project after project after project in the past year.
He
Uh,
was the best thing about that movie.
yes, yes, and, like, he's got another movie, like, a horror movie coming out this year as well. I can't even think of what the name of it is. I just watched.
Well, now I'm gonna need to go look that up because now I'm gonna need to see that because this
Yeah.
man's amazing.
Oh
I love
yeah.
Willem Dafoe.
Oh god, yeah. I've loved him since freaking Boondock Saints. Like he's got such a wide range of playing a character, but he can always play like a very eccentric, wild, like off the wall person.
Yeah.
And it was cool to see him play a wild, off the wall, eccentric good guy in this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I liked it. Did you like it?
No.
Really?
No, I
Like,
didn't.
I liked it as in, like, I like it being a different take. I liked the way it was filmed. It's not
Uh-huh.
something like I'm gonna be like, "Ooh, I'm gonna make sure I watch this every year,"
Oh,
around
no,
Halloween.
no. Yeah, no, this
Yeah.
was a one-time watch for me. Like, I
Well,
watched it once and I was
yeah.
like, "That was the thing I watched.
I may
Got
watch
it."
it again once in a couple of years maybe, but but it's gonna be one of those that's probably about it. It's not like, "Ooh, it's a film favorite," but
Mm,
I can appreciate the take on it, the way they filmed it, the cast in it. There was some crazy wild things that happened in it I didn't expect to see.
mm,
Uh, and I mean, Nicholas Hoult, I thought did a good job acting. All the
yeah.
actors I thought did well.
Mhm.
Uh, but man, the Nosferatu dude was Skarsgård, Bill Skarsgård, who played him. That was creepy as shit. And like
No, I mean,
the
like,
very end, it was
everybody
weird.
so everybody did a really great job. Like, I'm not saying that it wasn't the actors that didn't do a great job. I'm saying that, like, it was just a dry movie. Like,
uh
I was just waiting for something to happen,
yeah.
and nothing
It did
happened
kind
until,
of
like,
kept
the
us.
last 30 minutes of the movie when Willem
You're
Dafoe
right.
showed up.
Yep.
Like, the fact
I
that
will.
he's in the trailer made me think that he was actually in this movie. This
Right.
man's not like, he's only in 30, like, spoiler alert, he's only in the last, like, 30 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. I
And I'm just like,
I will say it kept a slow and steady pace up until the last 30 minutes. Like, I did expect spikes of action in between. Like,
you're
from
watching a vampire movie, you expect
yeah.
to see a body, some blood, some something, and
Mhm.
like, and then you get on the ship, and you've seen the voyage of the last Demeter.
Right, yes. Yep.
Okay, so
With
like,
Stefan Kapicic.
sure, yeah,
That's the guy that played Colossus in the Deadpool movies.
straight up.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But
Yeah.
anyway, my brain's like completely like, yeah, no. But like watching that movie and then like now you're on a ship with a vampire and
Mm.
you're expecting there to be a bloodbath. You're expecting
Yeah.
something. No.
Ship just
And
crashes.
then the ship just crashes and you don't even see it crash. You just get to see the aftermath of like the
Yeah.
wood everywhere and
So,
you're like,
I did watch a deal with Bill Skarsgård. He said that, like, his body from head to toe, he's like, "Literally, there's not a piece of my skin that was showing. It was head to toe prosthetic." Like, when he played that character, and, like, they
"Mhm,
actually had him lie in that coffin, and literally, he was laying in it with 12 real rats and real maggots, and yeah, yeah.
that could have been some information I could have done without, but
Yep,
yeah.
nope,
Mm.
that was live stuff, and it was him, not a not a second person, and, I don't know,
Uh,
the Nosferatu character was creepy as shit,
yeah.
I like it being a more creepy take and not a sexualized, perfect, pretty Dracula, so it was nice, like I said, just to have a different take, but, the very end is what I was like, "Oh, this is gross, I don't wanna watch this." Uh, what she does to
That's
sacrifice herself, because 'cause like, that dude's breath stank, like, that breath did not
mhm,
smell good, so
mhm. Yeah, and then, to see, like, um, Nicholas Holt's, like, character, like, her husband or whatever, and
yeah,
the way that he was, like, breathing at the end
mm,
made me think that he's gonna be the next Nosferatu.
yeah,
And I think that's just kinda, like, how it continues, and there's
mm,
always gonna be, like, that sacrifice or whatever, but,
right,
um I like and like I said, like I think that the actors and the way that um the scenes were done or everything was beautifully done.
mhm,
Like very visually pleasing. It was just the story. just
Yeah.
wasn't it for me. Like, and that's why I think it was a one-time watch for me. Like,
Right.
it just seemed like I was like watching a bad documentary is what it felt like to me.
I do like the
One
take
that
of
wasn't.
them stabbing the heart in the chest and sucking the blood through the veins right there instead of, like, it being the regular neck thing, and, like, every
Mhm.
time it was, like, over the heart. I thought that was pretty neat and
Mhm.
different as well. But, yeah, no, I can get that. I would have liked to seen more spikes of gore and action throughout the movie
Mhm.
instead of the last
Yeah.
30 minutes, so yeah,
Yeah.
and, like, this definitely isn't one I'm like, "Ooh, this should win awards," or nothing like that, but I can appreciate the good, but it could have been better, so, yeah. It's a very mid movie, but, I do like I just my main thing was I like the different take on it from what we're used to seeing,
Yeah.
but, yeah. Dune Prophecy, it's done. Uh, Episodes 5 and 6 is what we have left to cover, which
Yeah.
is, let's see, episodes 5 and 6, In Blood and Truth, and then The High-Handed, Enemy. This is a series that once it ended, I'm like, "No. No, 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 no. This can't be the first season." Like, because it obviously leaves you hanging on the story, and, like, each episode, the story just gets more hyped of what it's leading up to, and then it's
Mm.
like, cliffhanger, boom. When will we get the second season? We don't even freaking know. So, I enjoyed this series. I'm not gonna lie, I actually think I enjoyed this series more than the Dune movie, both Dune movies, me personally.
I So I did definitely enjoy the series. I am still curious about, I don't know if I missed it, but like
The
the weird
Shapeshifter,
shape-shifty
we
thing.
didn't get to see it again. No,
Yeah,
there's so many
and we didn't.
cliffhangers on this.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, so why,
Yeah.
why did that happen?
I
Like,
I think it's meant to, like, obviously, they're gonna have more seasons, and I think it was just they want to leave you hanging on multiple things. I
okay,
didn't expect them to leave us hanging on that. I thought we would get to see that one more time before this
mhm,
ended.
yeah,
Nah.
mm.
And
I
then we
like
get
that we
and then
found out about like the actual real Atreides, like,
mhm.
and like
Yeah, you
his
get to find
bloodline, how
Tula
that
is the
all
mother.
happened.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
I like that too, and then, like, she gets arrested, and that's pretty they leave you hanging on that too, like, that's it. And it makes you wonder, like, later on, is he gonna break her out and have a change of heart on finding I don't know. There's so many questions I have, but, the acting in this was great. I feel like the writing was great. The pacing of every episode, I thought was good. Not one time did I feel like, wish this would hurry up, or, "Ooh, we had a slow moment," and I didn't feel like we had any what people would call filler episodes in the series as
Mhm.
well.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed this. Kudos to everybody that had their hand in making this.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely. Enjoyed it. I hope that there's another season.
Yeah,
Maybe they're gonna call it like something else.
well, I think the next thing we're going to get
Other
in Dune
than Dune
Project is going to
Prophecy.
be Dune 3. So I really hope this season drops after like quickly after Dune 3. I hope because I know
When
this is
does
a prequel because they could drop this whenever they want.
Yeah.
I mean, but like they tend to like this was to help like bridge the like Dune 3. When is Dune 3's release
Yeah, that was my
date?
next question. When does Dune
Yeah,
3 come out? I
December.
thought that was 2026.
It is December 2026.
Yeah, I definitely think that they can come out with another season
Yeah, I
before that.
I I I hope they're already, I hope they're already filming it and working on it and drop it like, drop it December 2025, please. Uh, we just need a year
Yeah.
apart. We don't need a long time.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I just need a little bit of information as to, like, I want more of a tie
Mhm.
in, because now we know that, like, the princess that they thought was, like, gonna be, like, the all-saving sister princess,
Yeah.
eh, isn't gonna be that, and
Mm.
she's running off of with that guy that she thinks is a
Yep.
Atreides, but he's not because we just found out that he's been lying. And a tiger. But anyway, like we find out that like the guy that actually is like having all of his hands in the pot is actually an Atreides, and you're like, ah,
Yeah.
So now we know that the emperor is dead, and now the guy that is like in charge of all the armies is fucking the emperor's like wife. Are they gonna have a kid? Is that how his bloodline continues? Like, what happens
So
next?
many
Yeah,
questions. And, like, it
I
truly
have
is
so many
a
questions.
cliffhanger on so many aspects. Like, where, like, a
Yeah,
lot of TV shows be like, "Oh, wonder what's happening next in this scene." It's like,
yeah,
we got, like, 6, 7, 8 scenes. We're gonna leave you hanging on these." So,
yeah.
yeah.
When she went up to him and they started getting closer, I'm like, oh, they're gonna kiss. They're gonna kiss. Ah! And then they kiss. I'm like, ah! It was not like I knew it was gonna happen, and I still
No.
didn't want it to happen. Um, but I mean, I guess the bloodline has to continue somehow. But anyway, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
man.
yeah, yeah.
So Dexter: Original Sin. I have been watching this, and let me tell you, oh, I'm s I'm so happy with this. I'm not even lying. So, like, episode 1 through 5, what's out right now? Episode 1 is In the Beginning, 2 is Kid
Mhm.
in a Candy Store, 3 is Miami Vice, number 4 is Fender Bender, and F. Number 5 is F is for fuck up. Uh, every episode is killing it. Like, I am just loving it. And, like, at first, I'm like, "Hey, every person they cast to play a younger version of everyone here is, like, dead on." And I was like,
Mhm.
Christian Slater is probably the farthest from, uh, like, resembling an older character as a younger Harry. I'm in episode
Yeah.
5 now. I'm all in for Christian Slater. I'm loving his Harry. Usually Christian Slater plays a dirtbag in a lot of things, and coming to find out, Harry's a little bit of a dirtbag that we didn't expect to know from the original Dexter. Had no idea that like Harry was sleeping around with Dexter's real mom and was a CI for him. So that was wild. And then to find out, like as we see in the first episode, that his original son passed away because he left the back door open. He drowned in the pool, and like he walks around with that guilt. And yeah,
Damn.
yeah, oh yeah, like there's so much more in depth of this. Like Dexter New Blood was good,
Mm,
but it still was not that OG Dexter feel. I'm not gonna lie, this is I love the original Dexter, and this is equal quality of that, if not maybe a step further better.
mm.
Like it's so good. Just seeing him learn how to go after bad guys, properly kill them. You're seeing a lot of trial and errors, of following the rules that him and Harry's taught him. So like seeing these, like he was choking people out at first, and then taking them away to wrap them in plastic before he kills them. And but now he had one wake
I
up.
love your kill them is
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, now they wake up early, so now he's finding out horse tranquilizers and stuff like that works better. It's just cool seeing the growth spurts and the trial and errors of everything and the
Of a
development.
serial killer? Yes.
He's only doing it to bad people. He's a he's a real life hero. But
Mhm.
but
A
anyways,
real role model.
yeah. It's good, man. It's good. It's so great. And like every series or every episode that this guy that's portraying the younger Dexter is just nailing it. I mean, facial expressions is his everything, just everything. I'm
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gushing over it. I love it. It's such a great series.
So real quick, to go back about Dune, I'm so sorry.
Oh, you're good.
So they actually, Max actually already said that they're coming out with a second season. They already renewed it for a second season. They renewed it like mere days before number
Uh-huh.
6 came out. So
Okay.
we know that a season 2 is going to be coming. We don't know when yet, but season 2 is
Hopefully it's
definitely
before
been
December
renewed.
2026.
Well, now that we know it's been renewed, they're probably like actually doing the
Yeah.
storylines and everything, and then we'll get into hopefully starting to record it in like March
Mhm.
or something.
Yeah, I bet it will be
We'll go
beginning
from
of
there.
2026. Let's see. Next on the list, Jurassic World Rebirth. As we all know, has Scarlett Johansson in it. The writer,
Scarjo.
yeah. The writer of it actually made a statement the other day in an interview saying that this film really captures the spirit of the first two original Jurassic Park films, which I love. Like it's hard to beat the OG Jurassic Park. Like it's
Mhm.
but so to hear him say that, I don't think he would say that and it be nothing like it, because like that's a pretty bold statement to make. And obviously, I know you want to hype up your own project, but I don't think you want to do it to where it's going to bite you in the bite you in the ass. So I hope it's good. I'm looking forward to it. I love dinosaurs. I'll always watch any Jurassic World Park, whatever movie they ever put out. So
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean
a
even
Jurassic Park fan, not a Jurassic World fan,
yeah,
so
yeah, same.
maybe
Well,
this will be the turning point
yeah, well, see, I
in
like the Jurassic World. I like the first one, but the last two, I didn't care for. I just didn't care for 'em. But,
I didn't like any of them,
it's kinda like
so
it's kinda like Transformers. No matter who makes them or how bad, the plots are, I'm gonna always watch the Transformer movies. So,
okay, no, no,
that's how
no,
the
but
dinosaur
Transformers
go.
is my shit, like, I'm gonna go see all of those, like, let me be clear about that,
Oh.
yeah.
But anyways, so, you've seen this movie. I just watched it over holiday break. It came out in September of last year. But, The Substance, I just wanted to mention it, kinda go over it real quick. If you haven't watched it, watch it. Uh, you'll be like, "Okay," like you were saying, like we were talking earlier, there's a good hidden message behind this about how the world is and how
Mhm.
brutal it is, and it's awful. I say it's a good message. It's a true message, of how the world is, and especially in, like, the life of celebrities and, like, the pressure they are under, and then also just people in
It doesn't
general.
even have to be
Yeah,
exactly,
yeah, just
it's just
yeah.
the human
Uh
race in
yeah,
general,
the
like
human race on, like, youth and looks and the pressure
mhm,
of perfection, and
mhm.
then how it makes you feel as you get older and, like, I don't know,
But let me fucking tell you what, Demi Moore, even though, like, she was, like, reaching for that perfection of Sue, right?
she's still perfect.
And oh my god,
Ye
I literally, like, I was watching it and I just, like,
Mhm.
looked at AD and I was like, "That's not fair." She is, like, 50 something, and I'm
Oh,
like, "I will never look like that."
I think she's older than that, hang on. How
Yeah,
old
I have no idea how old she is, but, she doesn't look it, like, she
You ready
looks
for this? She's 62.
mhm.
62. Yeah, and still looks amazing. Like, she did not need that serum to look young to have a younger
No,
self.
no, so, she's, like, in that, like, 80s classic,
Mhm.
like,
Workout.
workout suit,
Yeah.
whatever yeah, like, doing the jazzercise or whatever.
Yeah.
Looks amazing,
Mhm.
and I'm just, like, looking at her, and I'm like, "I will never look like that. I will try my entire life to look the way that she looks, and I will never look like that." And I am not even 30. Like,
Yeah, well,
so
and honestly, with her character, I don't think it would have bothered her as much if it wasn't was Hollywood was done with her, and like,
mhm.
and so Dennis Quaid's in this as well. Well, it's crazy because like this isn't a very big
Oh,
budget film, and Dennis Quaid I really like, but my God, his
ugh,
character in this made me cringe
cringy.
so hard,
Oh.
and like the way they filmed
The
it,
way that
it
he eats.
eats. Oh
It's
my
the
God,
way that he
yes.
eats.
Okay, so like I have an
Eh.
issue with hearing people chew. It's a I can't do it. Not a lot bothers me, but hearing people chew bothers me. And the way he was eating, and then the way they filmed it, the way they zoomed in and kind of the angle they filmed it, like it was a very artistic, different way of filming that you don't see in a lot of movies of this film, which I can appreciate. But I wish they wouldn't have done it while he was just smashing these. What was it? Was it shrimp, crab,
Eggs?
or I can't
I don't know.
I can't
It was
remember
something
now.
that was soft.
Yeah, but oh my God, it was disgusting. And then the mess on
Yeah.
the table, like, it made me want to throw up. But, well, there's more things that made me want to throw up in
I
this,
think
but
it was shrimp.
I
I
think it
think
was
it was
shrimp,
because I think it
yeah,
was
pulling the
tails.
tails,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
But, there's some so, like, through 80% of the movie, I was like, "Dang, this is wild. Dang, this is good." And, like, it's crazy, like, the serum, you have a
The
younger
last,
stuff
like,
come out. You gotta, like,
15,
feed
10-ish minutes, you're like, "Oh, this is gross.
yeah,
This is
yeah, so
real gross."
the last 15, 20 minutes, it goes off the wall. I mean, like, off the wall. And I'm like, "Okay." I feel like they coulda I get what they did, and I get they were trying to be different and artistic in that manner as well, but, like, I
Mhm.
wish they would have went a different route with it because I feel like if they would have, it'd been all the way through a very solid movie with a very true message behind it.
Hmm.
But, you know, that's just me, my personal take. I didn't really wanna see this glob in these multiple faces. It's horrendous. If you haven't seen it, though, it's worth watching one time. You'll say, "What the hell?" in the last 15, 20 minutes of it, but
This
it's intriguing. It's different.
this is a movie that I could see watching again.
Yeah, oh, I would watch it again. Like, if I'm like, "Hey, have you
Yeah.
seen this?" And they're like, "No," I'd watch it with somebody to show it to them. Yeah.
No, I'd watch it on my own again.
Gotcha.
Like I wouldn't even need to
Yeah.
like I don't know. Like I just like I found it very entertaining to
Yeah, oh,
watch
it was
and
very entertaining. Well,
yeah.
it kept you, like it kept me on the edge of my seat, like, "Ooh, what's gonna happen next when they change? Or are they gonna change back?" It was well paced, I will say that.
Mhm. Yeah.
Next on the list, so we don't normally cover game shows, but I have to say this isn't your, like, typical game show, and on top of that, this is a show on Prime that is ran by the most successful YouTuber of all time and to date, Mr. Beast. So Beast Games. Okay, so not only do we not typically cover game shows, but I don't typically watch game shows. Don't walk, run and watch this. You don't have to watch game shows to like game shows because like I'm not a big game show guy. This is phenomenal. There's going to be 10 episodes. I think there's 5 out right now. I think 5, 4 or
Mm.
5. Watch it. It is insane. This broke so many Guinness World Records. They have spent. It starts out with 1,000 contestants. At that, I think like they broke records of like the most contestants. Uh, the end prize is $5 million. They broke the record of any show ever giving away the most amount of money. They don't give away just that 5 million at the end. They're giving away money throughout every episode to try to get people to drop out. Like in the first episode, they give away I think up to $5 million in the first episode. Like right off the bat, the first offer it's to drop out is $1 million and to split it between everybody who drops out. Like it is insane. And then like the second episode, they go to this. They actually rented out a airport field and they built an entire miniature city for these people to live in and do the games in.
Mm.
Stuff it is insane. It is wild. And then also like it's crazy to see how emotional people get, but like these people are here for days and then they have to work in random teams. And there's some people who are offered like, hey, you can get $1 million if you hit this button and stay in the game, but it drops out your team of 20. Or you can not hit it and just miss out and not get any money and then hope you stick to the end of the game, which is a high chance you won't. Like, and
Mhm.
it's wild to see people's integrity and to see things that people are tested on and ones who will take it for themselves and who people who won't. Like, I don't know. It's wild. And then like it's just
How far have
crazy.
you gotten into Squid Games?
So I'm trying to push through the first season right now.
Okay, okay. Cool.
Yeah.
No, I'm
I'm
just
try I'm
like
try I'm going to push through it. I just so it the whole dubbing thing, if it wasn't for that, I would probably get through it way quicker. The dubbing thing with not matching up with the lips bothers me, and I don't know why it bothers me, but it does.
okay.
So yeah, but Beast Games, watch it. It's on Prime every Thursday, I think is a new episode. I think there's like I said, 3 to 4 more episodes come out. I promise you, you will not regret it. See, Sonic 3. Watched it last night. I think so. Like Sonic's movies, I've enjoyed. I'm not like I grew up playing Sonic a little bit here and there. I've enjoyed the movies that came out so far. I think they're fun, but it's not like a ooh, let's run to the theaters and see on opening night. I finally watched it last night. I think this is the best one of all 3 movies, and I like the other 2 movies. It was really
Mhm.
good. Keanu Reeves was great. Idris Elba, of course, Knuckles, like the whole entire cast. James Marsden, uh, Jim Carrey, though, man, this guy. This guy just keeps being more and more iconic. Like this guy's a national treasure. He plays Robot Nick. And he plays Robot Nick's grandpa. Uh, you got to see this tape, not in English.
Yes.
You got to see it in
No.
French overseas.
Yes.
Uh,
Mhm.
but this dude, God, he never ceases to amaze me. It's such a great movie, especially him portraying these 2 characters in the same room, like you know,
Yeah.
conversing with each other and acting with each other. It was
Mhm.
just it was great. It was artistic, and then we get an end credit scene, which they're going to lead to like a fourth Sonic. I'm not going to say a bunch of spoiler stuff because I know I think it's been out for what, a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Um, I
I
mean,
guess
like, it
it's,
came
it's
out yeah, it came out a while ago.
I guess it's yeah, it's been out long enough. But anyways, we get to see like the robot Sonics in the end credit scene, and the female Amy Rose, I think is her name, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Uh,
Yeah. So something that so yeah, I got to watch it in French. So I don't speak French. So I didn't really get to understand it, but a really great thing about kids movies in any language is you kind of get to pick up on some things and you get to
mm,
laugh anyway. So I was laughing regardless of not understanding what was happening. It's kind of like opera in that way. I don't know if you've ever seen like an opera, but
mm,
I've only been to like one opera, and it was Madame Butterfly,
hmm.
and it was all in Italian. Like,
Oh,
so I
really?
didn't get to understand it. Yeah, so like when it was happening, like you can't understand it, but it's with the emotion of the voice and with, like how they're acting and
Right.
doing the things on the stage, is like how you feel the emotion and you understand what's happening. So it's pretty much the same thing in my mind anyway. To like watching the movie in French, but something that I did get to learn, which I thought was actually pretty interesting because I was talking to my husband who does actually speak French, and like we were there with his son, my stepson, and we were watching it with him, and he speaks pretty much only French and a little bit of English. But when we were there, like he was telling me that like every actor has their own equivalent actor in French. So Keanu Reeves has a Keanu Reeves like French like actor. So anytime Keanu Reeves plays a part in a movie, that actor is voicing him in that whatever movie that he's
That's
playing.
pretty
So
cool.
Speed or
Yeah.
The Matrix or now Sonic 3. Yeah. So
Huh.
I thought it was so unique because I was like, "Oh my god, that's really cool," because like for us, we
Yeah.
realize like who's playing what not only based off of like their face, but also sometimes their voice, like Allison, right? Allison who
Right.
plays Storm. Like well, we haven't really seen her, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
You when you see like the actors and you also hear the voices. Shoot,
I
I
never
mean, I
thought about
mean,
that. I never really thought about that, but that makes sense to do that. Like you keep
yeah.
that consistency of recognizing the voice, but then also you keep
Hmm.
that consistency of quality
Hmm.
on this actor's movies and shows that they
Yeah,
do.
and I mean, like obviously they all go through like whatever, but the person that plays Jim Carrey
Mhm.
still has that same like goofiness in their voice and
Do
like
they really?
everything.
Uh,
Yeah,
uh,
I mean, like, I can't understand shit, but, like,
right,
it's still at the same time, like, it's
right.
pretty entertaining to just, like, listen to and watch, um, there was one point when everybody else was laughing and I wasn't, and I didn't really understand what was happening, so AD kinda leaned over to me and he said that there was a joke made about, Green Lantern
Yeah.
in it, something not being as bad as Green Lanterns,
Yeah.
like, whatever, and I started laughing. I can't even remember what it was because
I can't
it
remember
was
word
like a
for word what it
secondhand
is,
joke.
but it was
Yeah,
hilarious.
and I was like, "Oh, that's hilarious that they kind of, like, brought up Green Lantern in a Sonic movie, like, why
Yeah.
would you do that?" But I guess why not at this point? Movies are movies, but yeah, I
Well,
thought that was pretty interesting.
well, I can't remember exactly what it was line on the line either, but I think Green Lantern wasn't the only first like movie joke reference that there was another one I think in there. Either it was like an actor or oh, it was when Robot Nick and his grandpa. Like I think when
Yeah.
they first meet, he's
Mhm.
like, "Oh my," I'm gonna probably butcher this, but he makes a joke like almost like a Deadpool third breaking the third wall joke. He's like,
Mhm.
"Oh my god," he's like, "You look just like me." And then he's like, "It's almost like it's the same actor playing the same character. You look that much like me."
Okay,
And I was
so
like,
that
"What?"
Okay, so that I actually got, even though it was all in French, I understood that part. Like
Really?
I do remember that. Yes.
Yeah. So I was like,
Because of the
holy
way
crap, when did
it's
Sonic do this?
so I'm telling you, man, like if you ever watch like a movie, a
Mhm.
kid's movie in a different language and like you don't really need to understand like what they're saying and you
Yeah.
know what they're saying. It's weird. It's a really weird thing.
Huh.
Um but yeah, no, actually I understood that part. There was like a song that the grandfather when he first like came in, he was like
Yeah.
singing something. That part was in English. I can't remember anything about the song. Um, but like that was in English, and then the subtitles were in French. Um, all movies, I guess, in Belgium, maybe in Europe, question mark, I don't know, have intermissions.
Hmm.
So
That's wild.
they had like a 5 minute intermission so the kids could go run in the little
Huh.
like because uh, the movie theater was amazing. Like it was my first like year movie theater experience, and it was amazing. They had like this huge like little downstairs like area, and the kids were just
Mhm.
like running, and it was like all carpeted, and we
Hmm.
all went to the bathroom. We came back and
That's pretty
didn't have to
cool.
worry about missing any part of the movie because there was an intermission. It was great.
That's great.
Mhm.
Well, I think that covers all the news. Only thing we got left now. Oh, oh, you got
Actually,
Squid Games.
I got Squid Games. Yes.
Ah,
So, real quick before we go into your con spotlight, I just wanted to quickly cover Squid Game season 2. That is all out. I'm not going to spoil really any of it for anybody,
well,
especially for you because you haven't seen
I
all
am
of
so
it.
sorry I didn't get visuals on this. Like so I
No.
have it typed on the list, but not my handwritten one. I forgot to add that.
No, you're
I was
no,
like,
you're completely fine. I don't really need anything. It's fine. So all I wanted to say is that there were 7 episodes, and I mean, just like the first one, it pretty much just starts out with a banger. They're looking for the guy that plays that like little like red and blue triangle game that you're trying to like flip it.
mhm,
And they're trying to find the guy so he can stop the games. And then he ends up getting back into the game, as we see in the trailer. And they're playing that red light, green light game. And he's like teaching everybody, like, don't move, like, don't even like move your eyes, just like stare straight forward, don't even talk to me. And he's like running back, or like his back is to like the camera. So like they can't like see him talking to everybody. And then when he is facing forward, he kind of does like one of these, so you can't really see him talking either. It was really well done. Um, and then like after everybody like whoever amount like gets through the first one, they're all like, "Oh, well, we all made it this far. Like, and this guy seems to know what he's doing. Let's all just keep going. Let's just keep going." And now, unlike the first one, they're like, "All right, well, we'll give you guys this amount. Like however much money is in there, we'll divide it up equally amongst
mhm,
yourselves. If you guys all decide to go, but you all have to decide to go. It has to be majority rules." So after every single game, they do a
mhm,
vote. And it's just like so nerve-wracking because like you're watching the numbers go up and you're just like,
mm.
oh, maybe
Well,
they're gonna get out.
if
Maybe
you
they're
like
gonna get
Squid
out.
Games, it sounds like you're gonna love Beast Games.
And that's why I said, like, if you like Beast Games, why haven't you watched Squid
Yeah,
Games?
because that no, for real, like, the number just goes up, and it's just, like,
Yeah,
enticing them to yeah.
exactly. And there's like all like the psychological factors and everything to it. And there's like this one guy with purple hair. He's the only one that has his hair dyed purple.
Huh.
And he's got like this cross and he has got drugs in it, and he just takes like the drugs throughout the games. And he's just like there's like this one game where they're like doing like the this weird like circle thing,
Mhm,
and he's just like dancing and everybody else is just like biting their nails, and it's like ring around the rosy kind of thing. um but it's like, okay, you need 4 people and then 4 people have to run into a room anyway. It was all really like great because after the first game he
mhm,
realizes that none of the games are ones that he's done before, and he's like, well, fuck, like I can't help you guys out anymore. Like I don't know what's happening next. Um, but he's doing this so he can make the game stop. So like the end episode, like it gets like it climaxes to this like end episode, and then you're just like left on this cliffhanger. And we know that season 3 is coming out this year
Mhm.
at some point in time.
Hmm.
So now I'm just like, okay, like I need season 3 to come out like ASAP Rocky, because like I am on this cliffhanger of what the fuck is gonna happen now. Because you find out who like the big boss dude is, and
Right.
you're like,
Oh,
oh god,
nice.
what's gonna happen next?
I'm gonna
But
watch it.
yeah,
So I'm pushing through the
I know,
first. I'm gonna watch it. So
I know.
I promise.
Anyway, you ready to get into your con spotlight?
Let's do Con Spotlight. So this week for Con Spotlight, Fan Expo Portland, Oregon. Oh man, so this is January 24th to 26th. It's obviously in Portland, Oregon. Celebrity panels, autographs, Mario Kart tournament, themed cosplay contests. There's so much going on. Fan Expo always throws on a great show. The top 5 artists, so like you'll see on my top 5, but there's so many more than this. I think there's like 20 something celebrities that's going to be there, pretty big
Mm-hmm.
names. Heavy Superman, heavy supernatural theme on this one.
Yes.
So right off the bat, Superman, Dean Cain. Dean Cain's going to be there, as you know, from back in the day of Lois and Superman, or Lois and Clark, or whatever it is. It's from the 90s. Also, the latest Superman, Tyler Hoechlin, is going to be there. And then Man of Steel, Brandon Routh. Then you also get the CW Flash, Grant Gustin. Oh, that's not Grant, but Grant Gustin is going to be there as well. Man, one day I got to get this guy autograph. Like, and I want to take my son, because like that's his favorite character, I think, of all times. Then also from Supernatural, Jared Padalecki. So those are just the top 5 I picked that I think would be cool to get autographs. It'd be really cool to get like a something Superman, and then like get all their autographs on it, and then still
Mm,
get like Henry Cavill's to find out where he's going to be one day, and then David Corn Sweat. Man, that'd be sick though, to have something Superman, but have like all these Superman actors
yeah.
autographs on it instead of like
What
different
if you
individual
could get
pictures.
like the S
Uh
that's like
huh.
on the emblem, and then on the back of it, get them all to sign it?
Yeah, that'd be sick.
You know, I don't
Uh,
know. And like that sounds like
yeah.
really cool in my mind.
Yeah, no, that would be sick for real. There's so many cool things you do with Superman stuff, and we've had
Hmm.
like all of these actors have been good actors for their times, portraying this character. Oh, Tom Welling would that would be like probably my favorite autograph out of Superman
Is he
people.
is he the one from Smallville?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Okay. Okay.
I love Smallville to this day. So like yeah, and then we never got to see him really fly or in the Superman suit like we should have, but
Hmm.
still I love him. But yeah, man, there's all kinds of great things. Like I was saying, every celebrity here, almost every celebrity here has a panel. Like I was saying, the gaming tournament is Mario Kart, which is always a great time. And their cosplay contests that they do, there's so many of them. They don't just do one. They have a lot of themed photo shoots, but then they have themed and different category cosplay contests. So it's not just one and done. Those are always great, and usually they do like a red carpet rollout for like professional photo shoots for cosplayers at fan expos. So
That's so
yeah,
cool.
and then also like one of my favorite things like that fan expo does that I love to go to, and maybe I'm biased because we do podcasting, but the fan expo does a podcast stage. Like it's a stage only for podcasters, and so it's really cool to get to sit in and interact with different podcasters and get to see their shows live. So like if I had to pick like one of my favorite things besides the celebrity autographs and meet and greets would probably be podcast stage. So
Mm,
yeah.
that does make sense.
You
Yeah.
like if you were to go to Fan Expo Portland, Oregon, what's
Hmm.
something you think you would be interested that you've seen on the roster?
So, I tried to like click their schedule to see what it was, but it
Mhm.
wasn't like popping up for me. But I have always like, well, when I was like a kid, a girl,
Mhm.
a wee little girl, a wee little lad. But when I was like a teenager, like
Mhm.
throughout high school, I really was into Supernatural. So,
Mhm.
and Gilmore Girls. So Jared Padalecki was
Yeah.
is
He's
Dean
Bay for you.
Sam. Oh man, I got sweaty just thinking about that. Yeah, if I could ever meet that man, I would be so happy. But something that I did find out on their website that I thought was actually really cool too is that they have like an after hours kind of like a meet and greet kind of thing,
Okay.
but it's for free. And
Really?
it's called Comics and Cocktails.
Okay.
And it's gonna be at like the Hyatt lobby
Mhm.
bar. So it's like right across the street kind of thing. And you get a free comic book and a cocktail themed print um,
Okay.
on that like 24th, so the first day of the convention. And it's free for anybody that has tickets to the convention with their pass. It's like limited for the amount of people that obviously can
First come,
go.
first serve type thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So all you have to do is like show your badge and like you can get in. But like there's gonna be a bunch of like actual comic book artists there, so you can get them
Mhm.
to like sign your comic book that you would get there. And
That's
I
pretty
think it would
cool.
be like, yeah,
Yeah.
right? Like I thought
A
that would be like
and
super
cocktails?
neat. Yeah, and you get to like
I'm
mingle
in.
with like other nerds there, so you get to
Yeah.
like learn about like other people and their walks of life. And I don't know, like I've kind of gotten more I've been so what is it, extrovert and
Introverted?
yes, I am very introverted. Like I
Mhm.
don't usually like go out and I don't talk to people.
Mhm.
But this seems like something that would be my element because
Right.
one, cocktails give me courage. And two, like nerds are my people. So I feel like I would be okay there.
Yeah.
So I think that that would be something that I would do because I think that would be really cool, especially because it's
Would be
free.
cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If it's free, it's for me, let me just say. But,
Yeah.
yeah, that, pretty much wraps us up for the first episode of the year. God, it
Yeah.
feels good to be back, so
It does feel great to be back. And
mm.
we have an interview coming out in a couple of days
We do.
too.
We dropping it on the 10th. Stephanie Nadani, well, the original voice from way back in the day of Young and Mini Goku, is reprising on Dragon Ball Daima, which is dropping January 10th on Crunchyroll, Hulu, and Netflix. Well, we'll also be dropping our interview with her on January 10th, the same day. She is reprising her voice as Goku, Young Goku, Mini Goku. So yeah, super excited to have her on, and it's really cool that we get to drop that on the same day that's dropping on TV for everybody to watch. So super pumped.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for that one.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. But
Yeah.
without further ado, guess we're out of here.
Peace.